Hey, it's the Rican, and we truly live in like crazy world. Um, this vaccine mandate, everything that's going on. Um, look, I know they say Sesame Street um, used to help push vaccines before, but this is, you know, and I'm not gonna say it's any different. It's just different in the sense that it's a different. There, when it comes to the mandates, there's no exemptions. They don't give you a religious exemption or anything. There's people who can't get the vaccine because of allergies and all that stuff. So these vaccine passports are ridiculous. But here's a story. I just grabbed this one because it's the first one that came up. Big Bird got vaccinated against COVID-19 during outrage from Republicans. If our tax dollars are going to go to NPR, then they need to um, stop being a left wing rag. If that's the case, then tax dollars need to be withdrawn from it so it could then it could go and get money from elsewhere if it wants to be a one-sided um, hack news news organization. Um, in quotation marks for people who didn't see that. But I think that it's just propaganda. Obviously, if people say it's not propaganda, then you're full of it. This is just propaganda pushing it on to children. With that being said, here's the propaganda pushed for adults. NBA to players, coaches, refs, booster shots are, and I'm gonna put this in quotation, recommended, because if they do not get their recommended booster shot, then they will be subject to game day testing starting December 1st. So if they don't want to have a Q-tip shoved up their nose on a daily basis, then they encourage you to get the vaccine. And this is the way they're going to push it. Oh, look, NBA players are going to get it. Football. I'm pretty sure the NFL is probably going to do the same thing if they haven't. You know what? Well, some people don't like when I do this, but let's check it out. Let's go search. Let's see. NFL recommend boosters. Boosters. Let's see. Just out of curiosity. I didn't think about doing it till right now. Let's see. Let's see what comes up. No. So they haven't done that yet. The NBA, I guess, is going to be the guinea pig. So here you go. This is just propaganda. Look, the NBA players are doing it. For your kids, it's Big Bird and Elmo. For adults, it's, oh, look at these NBA stars. They're all getting their recommended booster shots. Recommended. But they don't give a lot of news coverage. Well, I shouldn't say that, but they'll try to ignore Kyrie Irving, the Kyrie Irvings of the world, just because the fact that they don't want that out there. I mean, it's there, but and his fans, they're gonna have fans that are gonna turn on him. I mean, kind of like what happened with Aaron Rodgers this weekend, with him catching COVID and them getting mad of, he used some word semantics. The left loves that, so they just hate when it's used against them. He said, yeah, what was it? He said he's a immune and blah, 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 blah. Sorry, excuse me, can't talk right now. He didn't say he was vaccinated. He said he was immune as whatever. I can't get the word out right now. But anyways, because the story is not about him anyway. But he could, this is how they get this is how they're going to get these boosters mandated, period. It's like, because it's starting off with the vaccine. Oh, the vaccine's mandated, and then now the boosters are going to be mandated. Well, I understand if you work in a certain field. I understand if you're in the health field and you're going to be exposed to people, you want these vaccines. But let's say you own you own an online company. Say you employ a bunch of people, but you're an online company. You barely go into the office. If you're home, then these mandates are ridiculous. It's just a power play. And the irony behind this is, you do have people, it does span ideology, because like I said, I saw it in New York, where you saw Black Lives Matter, people who are leftist, communists, and you had Trump supporters there, fighting the mandate. But like I said, I found it funny that you saw Black Lives Matter people there who are lefties. I'm not going to say they're all communists, but a lot of them, supported, the founders, and the founders were trained Marxists. But here's the funny story that you probably won't get much play in the media, because the media supports Antifa. They run cover for Antifa, and they can't really cover the story, because then it kind of, Antifa loses its luster. Because here goes: Antifa members attack an anti-vaccine mandate protesters in Boston. So clashes between protesters and Antifa members broke out in Boston on Sunday as protesters gathered for a rally against COVID-19 vaccine and mask mandates. So here's the funny thing, and everybody hates the Nazis. Everybody hates the Nazi flag because the Nazis killed millions of people. Why is this flag okay? Okay, when let's say Nazis killed about, say, on the low end 5 million, on the high end 10 million people, right? Communism, okay, killed anywhere between 50 to 60 million on the low end, to as high as 90 million on the high, to as high as 100 million on the high end. Okay, here's an article from Reason, where this was from 2013. Communism killed 94 million people in the 20th century. I'm not going to read the rest of it, but why is this okay? Why is this okay when this ideology killed almost 100 million people, depending on who you talk to? But this other group, people are going to say, I'm not saying either. I'm saying they should be equivalent. They're both bad. So, it's kind of ironic when you look at it and you go, here's Antifa, okay? Sorry about that. I had a little tickle in my throat. But so, like I said, I'm talking about Antifa and comparing fascism and communism. But here's the irony, because fascism is a sort of a government, is a government corporatism alliance. So you have Antifa, which I love this meme. I'm an anti-fascist that supports big pharma corporations teaming up with the federal government to finance and distribute a product that is made mandatory by law. It's a great point, because how can you be How can you consider yourself Antifa when you're supposed to be against the capitalist system of government? You're supposed to be anti-fascist, where supposed to be anti-capitalism, but here you're anti-fascist attacking anti-mandate people, showing communist flags, okay, and you're okay with the government teaming up with big pharma to finance, basically, to the government. We don't, it kills me when people say that the vaccine's free. Oh, you should get the vaccine, it's free. It's not free. We pay for it with our tax dollars. The government already paid the pharmaceutical companies for these vaccines, and they're going to pay them for the boosters. So they just hit the jackpot. Okay. And why do we need mandates when there's going to be a pill coming up that that helps with COVID treatment? So why are we having these mandates? Why are we having, when there's plenty of treatments now that people have a lower chance of dying now? And people are, oh, the vaccine prevents dying too. Yeah, nothing's 100%. So, but that's what, why are we mandating this stuff? So, so Antifa is just a left-wing mob. I find it funny. I was viewing the Wikipedia page, and if you want to see how, when I say that Wikipedia is a left-wing biased source, read read Antifa's website. You could web entry. You could tell it's written by an Antifa activist. You could so tell it's written by an Antifa activist. There's no impartiality in this. So, but that's where we're heading. We're heading toward, the NBA starting it. I mean, it's already been started. The booster, they're saying, for older people, for people immunocompromised. But here it is, the NBA showing where it's going to go. This is why I'm against the mandate. This is why a bunch of people are against the mandate, because I got vaccinated, but I don't want to get a booster. But they want to make it. If they're gonna push the mandatory where to be vaccinated, they're gonna put it in a language where you're gonna have to be fully vaccinated, which means how many boosters you need to be fully vaccinated. There's no test or anything like that to see if you still have the antibodies. But that's what they're doing, and this is what happens when you have this is what you have when you have corporatism. People, that's the irony, is you have these socialists, these Marxists. They think that what we have now is capitalism, when we have a form of crony capitalism, is crony corporatism. That's what we have. And we're divided because you guys want bigger government. The only thing we want the government to do is protect our rights. And the way these companies go about violating our rights is they influence the government. And these people who this is something where left and right can unite, where we're both against this crony capitalism. But you guys want to replace it with, instead of having a dictatorship with corporate entities, you want the dictatorship in the government, because that's what you're going to get. Because you can't have, the problem with communism is it could work small scale, but it's not going to work large scale, because not everybody's equal. I, this whole thing about equity, that's the whole bullshit about equity, is not everybody is the same. That's what I mean by we're not all equal. It's like, I can't be in the NBA. I'm 5'10", too short for the NBA. I was built for football. 5'10", 225 pounds is a football player. It's not a basketball player. So we're not all equal. There are differences between us, but that's what makes us. That's what's the best thing, is that we could complement each other's with our differences. But that's not what's going on. So what are we going to do? I mean, you people on the side of the government with these mandates, it's eventually it's going to bite you guys in the ass too. It's just not us, right? Liberty loving people. We're trying to protect you guys too, but you guys don't see it. You guys think it's, because you agree with it, it's okay. Because your people in power. That's why I said in my I've been saying in my previous videos, if Trump was doing this, would you be okay with it? And if the answer is no, then you should still not be okay with it just because Biden's doing it, the Democrats are doing it. You need to be consistent. And that's how we get manipulated. So I'm gonna leave it there. Please, left, right, center, we need to fight this mandate. It's not about being selfish. It's not about not protecting others. It's about protecting our liberty and government overreach. That's what it's about. And if the government could, if these companies could do it too, that's the whole thing. I mean, if the NBA could do it to their players and they're rich, what's going to happen to the little guy? The little, that works in a little company. What are we going to be able to do? And that's what you have to remember. It's not just about the stuff that you agree with. That's why free speech is important. It's not just about the speech that you agree with, the action, so anyway, Novarican, you can follow me here on YouTube and Rumble. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, Clout Hub, all those sites. With that being said, have a good one.